And we should be live. Hopefully. We should be live. We should be good. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Market Boss and Scotch and Stocks. It's happening both at the same time. Today, NVIDIA has earnings. Everybody's freaking out. The market doesn't know if we want to go up and down. Ooh. Sounds bad. Dang. I wish. All right, let me fix this. I wonder why. You know what it is? I think it's this. Let me know how this goes. Or it might be too much. How about now? I should have tested the mics. Mic. Has earnings. It's working fine every single time, and then it just messes up. Let me test something out. Is it better or nah? All right. Welcome to another episode of Market Boss and Gotcha Stocks. Today we have NVIDIA earnings live. Like, is it okay or is it good? It should be good. You know, but well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, everybody's freaking out. The market doesn't know if we want to go up earnings and down. Ooh. Getting close to the market close. I'll start the stream properly at 9. I'll talk about whatever I have to talk about because I don't want people trading based on my analysis. I wish. I am bearish on the stock heading into earnings, though. Not for a long time, but I wonder why. You know what it is? I think it's this. Let me know how this goes. In one cut two. Or it might be too much. Yeah, I have to figure that out. I should have tested the mics. Yeah, microphone should be good. Has earnings. But yeah, NVIDIA is starting to sort of like sell off into the close, I think, a little bit. We're here, yeah. We were selling a little bit into the close. Here, it's going to be an interesting day for sure. Many people are worried that this could crash the markets. Let's hope and find out. That it does not. Working fine every single time, and then it just hedging my position a little bit into the close. I did sell some call options. Is it better? Nice. Or nah? Yeah, I did sell some call options into the close. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that it'll be okay. Because yeah, it's like, I don't know, like I think NVIDIA right now has had a lot of euphoria. I mean, we've gone. Oh, they. All right. Well, that's funny. That's interesting. You shouldn't hear me twice now. I think I was playing the audio somewhere else. Yeah, the audio settings in the computer keep messing up. But yeah. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you, Dragos. Thanks for helping me get this set up before the main event. We still have a little bit of time before the NVIDIA earnings come out. We have until, I think, 30 minutes from now until we can actually go and pull it off. Andres, welcome to the stream. If you're looking to buy a stock, don't buy anything I tell you. By the way, I'm just a random guy on the internet, even though I do this full time. And I do manage other people's money. I don't manage your money. I don't understand your portfolio goals. So use me as a starting point or potentially a data point within your massive research. Make sure you do that. But it should be fine, no? Should be fine now. Should be fine now. I think it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening. I don't know if the stream's gonna hold up. Good. Nice. I'm glad. It's a new mic. It's not a new mic. It's a new mixer. And then I have the new camera too, which is nice. So I'm hoping it goes well. No, I mean for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like I have 2 streams going on right now. So I'm I'm on the market bus and I am on Scotch and Stocks. There's a couple of people watching too. There's like 2 different chats that I'm trying to get everything together, but Riverside doesn't end up fixing it. So Riverside, please fix. But yeah, NVIDIA's earnings today are going to be an interesting one. That's for sure. Earnings per share is expected to come in at $1. Gonna be an interesting day. Sure, I put. But yeah, it's gonna be yeah. There's a lot of money. Like there's a lot of money riding on this. I think the company's valued at almost $4.5 trillion today. It's sitting at $4.4 trillion, and this could get it to go to $4.5 trillion, which would be an incredible feat, to say the least. Oh right, okay, that's why I'm not. Yeah, like I mean, like it's okay. You can go to the other chat too. Like it's only address speaking. You know what I mean? I don't think there's gonna be that many people until the earnings start popping out. So it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. But yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of tricky. I'm still on YouTube. I'm just doing Market Buzz on my own channel at the same time. But I have to trade my way out of this too. You know, because the thing is just like I should be selling a couple of things before the market close. I wanted to hedge like 30% of my position on NVIDIA. So you see the price is coming down a little bit. NVDL is actually down. So that's going to be an interesting one because I'm playing a 2x NVIDIA ETF. So the moves are going to be interesting to say the least. That's for sure. Oh, HCA link added me to the watch list. Nice. Very nice. Whoa. But yeah, revenue is expected to come in at 45, I think guidance was. Market is expecting 46. I'm expecting something really high because I was expecting China to have solved the issue already. Like I expected NVIDIA to solve the China issue and be shipping by the end of July, but they ended up getting the license by the start of August. So we're likely not gonna see. Yeah, no, 5x, no 5x, no 5x. I actually sold my 3x NVIDIA position into this. I don't know, like I took a little bit of risk. Like again, like look at this, right? Like this is where it gets interesting too. But yeah, I need to focus. So yeah, again, revenue is expected to come in at 46 billion, and then it's gonna be really important to understand how guidance will come out in terms of revenue guidance, and will they incorporate China within the revenue guidance of Q3, and potentially a $53 billion revenue for Q3 would be fantastic to say the least. I'll make sure that you are able to hear the results, and then I have to make sure I open the live stream. I'm gonna go live. But yeah, Andres is not an investor. He's a friend of mine. He wants to get into investing. That's why I'm telling him. You know, make sure you click the link down below, and I forget that it's over there. If you want to check out my portfolios and the things that I'm doing. But yes. So yeah, I mean, right now the stock is just sitting flat, but the stock has rallied so much since the lows that I am in a point where kind of scared. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people bought this at the lows. We can see the increase in volume coming in here. The ATR is expected to be like $5 to $6, which is not a crazy move. I think the expected move for the stock is around 6 to 7%. We'll see what happens. 115. I think it does. You know what I mean? And the thing is just like we are expecting massive blowout earnings on here, right? Like I'm expecting 49 billion to come out, right? Anything lower than 49 billion could be a miss, in my opinion, unless guidance comes in way higher than expected, right? I'm going to show you kind of like the analysts, what like some of the analysts that I like share with, what they think, right? So here we see like my estimate is actually sitting at 1.7. I'm expecting them to be more profitable, which I think, like I wrote this a while back.
So just a reminder, after the bell, we get
I wrote my expectations on it. So I would say like
time.
I'll be
NVIDIA's
happy
Q2
if earnings per share
2026
comes in line or a little bit better than expected. And then I want to see what happens to gross margins. And yes, right, we are also Wall Street expecting 46 billion. I mean, like the thing is like the problem with NVIDIA, I don't think like this was an interesting take. Not many people have made a lot of money shorting NVIDIA, but we could see a start. Like, I mean, maybe if you got it during the peak kind of euphoria phase, then yes. But yeah, it's kind of where could we see the volatility kind of come in? What I'm scared of and what freaks me out with this earnings report is that there's a lot of leverage in the system and there's a lot of money being put on NVIDIA right now, right? A company that's worth $4.5 trillion. A lot of people have bought back into the stock massively. And it's going to be very interesting to see how we sort of like de-risk a position of this size, right? Again, 112%. We're still only around 35% from the start of the year, right? Which is not crazy for NVIDIA. And given the fact that they've grown earnings and revenues so much in the last year and potentially this year, I'm not too. But again, we don't know. We will have to wait and see. But yeah, a short on NVIDIA will be tricky. Now, a short on the semiconductor sector could be a play. You know, AMD is at almost like AMD is sitting really high. We are seeing the semiconductor space year to date very, very green. AMD has actually outperformed this year NVIDIA. Intel is sitting at 24%. Broadcom sitting at 30%, right? So NVIDIA is the darling of the AI revolution. The Palantir trade right here. I mean, it's such a scary one, right? But they're up 100% on the year. A lot of people are saying that it could be scary. Thank you, my lady. But yes, right? So it'll be interesting to see, right? We are seeing that some companies have not benefited from whatever the AI revolution is right now because they're having massive capital expenditures on here. So companies like Google, Amazon are lagging, and I do think that they're going to be catching up part of the year. Well, we'll see. The thing is like they keep outperforming, right? And as long as they don't lie or they get caught out, should be okay. Market is closed, ladies and gentlemen. Even Alexa has the alarm going. NVIDIA earnings are on the docket. I think so. You know, so now we're waiting on prices. We will see how the market will react. But yeah, we've just seen in like even NVDL, like the range alone of the day has been around 4%, which is right for NVIDIA. 2% move is sitting on a ton of money. So yeah. All right. Okay, so I'll tell you this, right? Okay, let me do a little summary on what to expect on the earnings now that the market has closed. So NVIDIA right now is about to have earnings, and the market is hoping and anticipating and praying that everything goes okay. The expectations is that NVIDIA is going to have blowout earnings results. But the big question here is whether it would be enough to satisfy investor juices. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Right? So will the investors be happy? Would we see a little bit of a sell-off? I'm in the camp that we might see some bearish movements into the stock early on, and we could potentially bounce back as Jensen eases concerns about China revenue. So yes, I am hoping, I am praying that everything will be okay. We'll see what happens. But earnings per share is expected to come at $1.01. So we'll keep a close eye on it. You should be able to hear it soon. I need to make sure that my thing is working. I just need. Right. Let me just let me know if you can hear this, by the way.
I'm up 4K after the session, so we're about to slam all the profits on one hand.
All right.
4,000.
Again, we can hear it. That's good. It's funny because I have DGen content on my YouTube channel. All right.
Voice news disconnected.
Voice news. All right, so we should get it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, right? Like the expectations are ranging all the way to 195, all the way to 170. I think the expected move is somewhere in the 6%, so we could reach the 170 today. The lows of last week, well, I guess August 20 was last week, or we could potentially go even higher, right? I am in the camp that I am in the camp that we might actually see the stock come down a little bit, just cool off, right? Like I just think everything is priced in the stock unless we hear something crazy about China, something crazy about the rest of the world, just demand continue to be super strong or stronger than expected, then we are likely to continue to see the stock higher. We just rallied too much, in my opinion. Cloud revenue was, I think, last earnings came in at the cloud revenue came in at 39 billion. I'm expecting 42 minimum in this case, which is around a 10% growth quarter on quarter. It could be a little bit higher than that. Again, guidance will come. That's what we're paying attention to. So there are a couple of things that we want to pay attention to the earnings. And it's the first things is EPS and revenue, just to make sure that everything is okay. We need to make sure that China revenue is coming in strong. And now that we have the licenses, what's going to happen with the new chips that they're designing? The Blackwell sales, are they continuing? And how is the demand for the Blackwell? And potentially, how are we seeing for the production of the upgrade of Blackwell into the second part of the year? And guidance. Guidance is going to be important just because they're going to have to beat expectations on guidance on here. Now, in terms of what the market is expecting for revenue guidance, it's around $53.4 billion. Massive, to the least. But yeah. Ooh. Whew. Market selling off a little bit. First Solar is coming down drastically. I think it's just like sell-off. Doesn't have me too. Going back here, kind of. As NVIDIA is sitting at 182, we're going to see this move really quickly. So keep a close eye on it. I have a couple of interesting calls on the microchip sector if we see some sort of diversification going on. But yeah, right now, all eyes are on NVIDIA. If you're an investor, you're paying attention. Is the reality of it. Really, they're gonna ask me. Right, I'm registering for the event. I'm a little bit late. Nothing's happening just yet, hopefully. There's just interest, and wow, volume is kind of strong. Go to the one. So we see it's like right now price is moving, but because volume is really, we're gonna go to the 1 minute. Everything. Pay attention. There should be the news update on here. All right, come on, open. August 27. Why are you not letting me? Okay, 15 minutes before the start, so we're still waiting. Woo. No. No had earnings today too, no? There we go. CrowdStrike had earnings today too. Well, what's on the earnings docket today? NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, and Snow. CrowdStrike doing. It's flat. And Snow. There was a 5% beat on revenue, and earnings per share was actually positive. So the stock might rally heavy into an 11% right now after market. That's crazy. Bam. I don't think a lot of people are not paying attention to anything other than NVIDIA today. So it's gonna be interesting to see what those companies do as well. Get in here. Oh wow. Oh wow. Market really like that. 15% on the move. Holy. Back to NVIDIA here. Why is they're not talking?
10 minutes away from
There
NVIDIA
we go.
Q2 2026 earnings
Woo.
with an EPS estimate of $1.01 and a revenue estimate of $46.23 billion.
Focus time. Focus time. Ah, yeah, yeah. We are 10 minutes away from this. Yeah, interestingly enough, like, I don't know, market seems to be a little bit frothy coming into this earnings. We had a Fed euphoria yesterday. So evil. Oh man. Mara's so shy, doesn't even want to show. Just hedge all of it. You know what I mean? The problem is like the moment you hedge it, it explodes. it has to do a lot with the Bitcoin market and how it's gonna perform too. And when they start making when they start actually selling compute space, they could actually end up doing really good. Oh man, I think so. Right now, like I have so I sold. So this was my trade. Like I sold. Yeah. Did you see snow, Antonio? Did you see snow? Did you see this? He's nuts. A 16% move. I wonder how much the calls were on that too. But we're gonna go to NVIDIA. And then it's like, yeah, that's crazy. Like the move today, I sold NVIDIA calls for next week at $7, which is insane. $700 for 100 stocks. Like that's a pretty decent return. I'm not gonna lie, I just couldn't. Like I was like, no, I don't need to risk. I don't need to go in, and I would have sold some into the close too, but I was preparing to go live. Because the audience. Like the thing is just like I don't think the story, and I want to make this like crystal clear. I don't think the story for NVIDIA has drastically changed, right? But I just think that there's been so much euphoria and momentum of the stock that we just continue to see the stock price continue to go up, right? We had the Fed, we had Jerome Powell talking about average inflation targeting, right? So we could see like we see such like positive momentum with stuff that is not directly related to what NVIDIA is doing, that sometimes the stock could get a little bit overvalued. That being said, I mean, this has been one of the best stories in the stock market all throughout, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if we go 10% up today, right? Like market is expecting around a 7% move overall, but it's actually not expecting a big move for what NVIDIA usually expects in this case, right? So it's going to be one to look for, right? And the big question here will be, will it affect additional markets and what opportunities arise from this, right? Because I'm also paying attention to Google. It's a stock that I have in my portfolio, and it's my second biggest position right now. And I'm paying attention to it because I do believe that they're gonna get their verdict on the Chrome lawsuit very, very soon. And I think it's very likely it's gonna be positive, because I don't think the current administration wants to mess up American exceptionalism as long as it continues to be American. So that's a big point here. Oh man, that's big volume coming into the close. Big volume. Like again, a lot of people were de-risking. It's understandable if you de-risk, took a little bit of money off the table, right? I still have a massive position. Don't get me wrong, right? Like it's still a very, very strong position. I think I've probably hedged around 10% of my 20% of my portfolio.
Prime is going to get NVIDIA Q2 2020 earnings with an EPS estimate of $1.01, revenue estimate of $46.23 billion.
ST, I have no idea. Pure storage. You find the weirdest companies. It's a massive move. Snow would have been an interesting one to, but I don't know. I don't follow it. I don't know how the stock moves. I don't pay. Kind of scares me. Oh man. Ooh. gonna be an interesting because we're doing a live stream tomorrow too of the market overview, and this is gonna be center stage. So we have have seen HP CrowdStrike is down 7%. I told you, Antonio. Tomorrow, option straight on CrowdStrike. Telling you, could see a bounce. I'm telling you, I called it right. I think I called it right. Tesla's up drastically. A lot of de-risking from. I think so. Like we could see a bounce depending on what it said in the call. $49. Like the problem, the big problem here with NVIDIA is this, right? Like look at the range. Like Wall Street range is between 45 billion all the way to 52 per rate. You know what I mean? So like if NVIDIA has 52, is incredible. This is next level, right? The question is how did you get that China revenue? In this time for a second. Earnings are coming, and then I'll take it off again. But it's leather jacket time. Jacket time, ladies and gents. Get ready. We're a minute and 30 seconds away from the results. Wow. Woo. Let's have a look at NVIDIA, and then we'll look at the rest of the market. So far, the range.
1 minute to go now.
Woo! Everybody get ready. Everybody get ready. Let's see if this jacket is it's good luck or bad luck. Gotta see the moves. 30 seconds. Go. 15 seconds.
10 seconds.
We're gonna see the moves. Money will be made and will be lost really quickly. Get ready for it. And oh.
Still waiting.
Like I would imagine how many people are trying to just. Stock is founding, but I don't think we're getting the results just yet. We're still waiting. I still haven't gotten the results just yet. Boom.
Adjusted EPS of $1.05, $1.05, a beat on the estimate of $1.01. Revenue $46.7 billion, a beat on the estimate of
It's a beat.
$46.23 billion. Data center revenue $41.1 billion, a miss on the estimate of $41.29 billion. Gaming revenue
Oh,
$4.3
wow.
billion, a beat on the estimate of
Cloud missed.
$4.82 billion. NVIDIA third quarter revenue is expected to be
Oh,
$54 billion plus
wow.
or more minus 2%. Third quarter, and also NVIDIA approves additional $60 billion in share buyback. So again, NVIDIA second quarter data center revenue $41.1 billion. This on the estimate of $41.29 billion. Seeing a downside movement here on the Nasdaq.
Massive move.
Also
Massive,
downside
massive move to the
post-market on
downside.
NVIDIA down about 4.9% in off the back of that data.
The miss on
And
cloud.
over those
Ooh.
numbers, adjusted EPS $1.05, a beat on the estimate of $1.01. Revenue $46.7 billion, a beat on the
Oh,
estimate of
wow.
$46.3 billion. NVIDIA sees third quarter revenue $52.9 billion to $55.1 billion. Estimate was $53.46 billion.
How much did they say? What was their guidance? What was their guidance?
NVIDIA shares falling 5% after second quarter data center sales miss.
Data cloud revenue misses.
NVIDIA says no H20 sales to China-based customers in second quarter. So NVIDIA
Yeah, because they didn't have the
$180
thing.
billion release of previously reserved H20 inventory. NVIDIA sees third quarter adjusted operating expenses at about $4.2 billion to $5.9 billion.
Oof.
Compute revenue $33.84 billion, a miss on the estimate of $35.87 billion. Networking revenue $7.25 billion, a beat on the estimate of $5.07 billion. And
I need to look at the
NVIDIA
press
sees
release.
third quarter adjusted gross margin 73% to 74%, at the estimate of 73.4%.
$41, and what was guidance? Why are you not upload? Give me this.
NVIDIA says Blackwell architecture grew 17% sequentially.
Telling you, I told you it was coming. It was to
NVIDIA
the
says cloud
downside.
service
It
providers
was to the
about
downside.
50% of data center revenue.
Damn. Woo, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Oh my goodness. Holy.
So NVIDIA says large CSPs represented about 50% of data center revenue.
$46.7, and then guidance. Outlook.
Seeing AMD
Revenue is expected to be
TSMC shares
54.
follow
So
NVIDIA
that's what
lower
we're
after
seeing.
earnings.
I think that's why we're seeing a bounce here. You know what? I'm calling that we're gonna see this come down and we recover. We recover when the call happens. This tells me what I need to know. If you look at third quarter fiscal outlook right here, 54 billion of revenue is expected. We have not assumed any shipments to China in our outlook. This tells you right here. Wow, I'm super glad that they've done this. I think it's a buying opportunity. I think it's a buying opportunity. Maybe. Stock gets hurt today. There was a little bit of hedging. I'm glad I hedged a little bit of my position in
NVIDIA
many
says
different
it's
places.
not assumed any H20
Yeah, there we
China
go.
in outlook.
Yeah,
Again,
there
not
we go.
assumed any H shipments to China in outlook.
There we go. There we go. Okay. 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 This makes sense. All right. So this is interesting. This is interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Jensen says in the call. Woo! This is and I was leaning towards the downside. I'm telling you, I was leaning towards the downside. I just didn't trust it. That's why I felt like I needed to hedge a little bit more. Oh, I wanted to hedge 30% of my position, but I'm okay. It's okay. It is okay. Those hedge positions pretty much is almost like I sold them at 90. So it's good.
To just summarize, an NVIDIA giving lackluster forecast, stoking fears of AI slowdown.
But funny enough, the big question here is do we see a bounce,
NVIDIA
right?
maintains quarterly cash dividend of 1 cent a share, in line with the estimate of 1 cent a share.
We're likely to see this. Look at that. Somewhere in the. Woo! Let's see what else. Oh, another lucky jacket. Unlucky jacket. Did they talk about it? Oh, okay. There we go. Gross margin is expected to be 73.73%. What was margins right now? So we're seeing a massive bump, right? Yeah, I think so too. Well, we're seeing a bounce right now. Stock's down, but we could see a bounce for sure. Ugly. It'll be interesting because I can actually like rebuy those calls tomorrow at open or close to open, and then hopefully hedge a bit. Okay. Oof, oof, oof. But look, revenue expectations comes in at 46.7, better than expected. The fact that they went high, I like. Earnings per share was a beat, which is fantastic. The revenue, the data center revenue is low because of China sales, right? If there are no China sales, that's the reason we're seeing that miss there. But I think that was Wall Street's scenario. So interestingly enough, that was Wall Street. Probably. Networking revenue higher than expected. So that's where they made it up. And then man, Q3 revenue is 52.9 all the way to 55. Holy, like that's a massive guidance. And then NVIDIA has not assumed any H20 chips. I mean, yeah, I think so too. Like coming off it a little bit. I mean, like look, stock's bouncing back. I mean, the numbers are not bad. I think the initial reaction. You want to do 5x? Look at this. That's good bounce. Bam, bam. 7% from the lows. I mean, we're likely to see this potentially even go back to old, like at the end of the call. That revenue guidance was really good. Like we got mixed signals on a lot of things. On a lot of things. But I think like this is super interesting. There was a girl on CNBC, like a lady on CNBC that called it on point. On point. But you see, I don't think the stock moves. A lot of the call options are gonna die. Which is okay. It's okay. Yeah. NVIDIA posted earnings with a lackluster forward guidance. It's nuts. The forward guidance, and given the fact that they usually beat that forward guidance, it tells you that they are willing to. They are putting a lot of money on this, right? So it's like, you see, 53. We are expecting that to be higher. Bam. Right now, this was 46. They beat by a little bit. They're probably gonna get 54, 55. Wouldn't be half bad. That means that they're growing. I like it. I like it. Yeah. That's it. You know what I mean? Like we're probably gonna come somewhere in here. Again, don't pay attention to my lines. You know what I mean? But probably like somewhere in the middle here, where we end up the day. Whoop. The Qs. I had some Q calls I wanted to sell today. It was up 30% on them. I was like, no, I'll hold. Because the thing is like what this potentially makes me think is that we're potentially not seeing a slowdown of AI, but what we could see is a broadening, right? So this is what I like ended up like I've been seeing lately. If you go to full screen, example, like in the last month, right? We've just seen a broadening of the rally, right? Where it's like the big winners are kind of coming down a bit, and then you're seeing the money move to different players. Uber, like Apple, Google, all that stuff, right? If you look at the last week, you're seeing sort of like the defenses. We are sort of risk on sentiment, right? So let's look at the last 3 months, and then you see like bam, 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 the winners, the losers. Like, I'm still surprised that consumer defenses are such high multiples, but I mean it's negative, but it's not super negative. You know what I mean? It's not super negative. That guidance was incredible. Not gonna lie, the guidance here at 53.5, the fact that they're willing to guide that and not include China revenue, which we're definitely gonna get with the H20s and potentially the B30s. If Trump allows it, this stock continues to rally massively. Nice. I'm still losing tons of money today. Don't get me wrong. Today is a negative day. But I think tomorrow is a calls day, in all honesty. Tomorrow buying a couple of calls as the market digests this and figures it out. I mean, like the story is going to be data cloud revenue misses, but the AI story continues. Right? I think so. Or at least I hope so. Yeah, a little. Whoop, whoop. Let me share this here.
Seeing shares of AMD at 1%, Broadcom shares falling up 0.6% after the bell following NVIDIA results.
Oh no, SOXL is gonna hurt tomorrow. Because then this tells you, right? Like, oh, they missed on cloud. Now cloud is done. The story ends, and it's like it freaks people out. It's funny because Blackwell. This is an like the thing is just like this continues to be an NVIDIA story. This continues to be an NVIDIA story
Just
for sure.
looking at some what analysts were expecting then in regards to NVIDIA's third quarter estimates. Well, with sales, they expect will be roughly $54 billion in the quarter, runs through October. The company sent a statement Wednesday, though that was in line with the average Wall Street estimate. Some analysts had projected more than $60 billion. Forecast excluded data center revenue from China, market where it struggled with the US export, posing pressure from Beijing. The company's tepid outlook adds to concern that the pace of investment in AI systems is sustainable. Difficulties in China have clouded NVIDIA's business, though the Trump administration recently eased restrictions on some AI chips so that country. The reprieve hasn't yet translated into a rebound in revenue.
That's so interesting. So that means that the Blackwell ramp up go full steam ahead on the next quarter. I want to hear what Jensen has to say. We're about 10 minutes away from being allowed into the room. I'm gonna take my jacket off because first of all it's hot, and second of all it does not deserve. You know, should have fixed China faster, Jensen. Should have fixed China faster. But overall, very good results. In all honesty, I'm not disappointed with these results at all. Now it'll be interesting to see if they can meet expectations with China. And this is going to create buying opportunities in other companies as well. I think, like I'm looking at right now, and we could potentially see like going into defensives like healthcare and all. I hate the fact that I'm not able to show the chart, this on the aftermarket. Because she shows the later. Don't like that. The 5% move. My hedge worked. My hedge worked. I'm happy. Like like it sucks that
Google's
I'm losing
investing an
money, but I
additional
could have
$9
been
billion
losing
in
a
Virginia
lot
through
more,
2026 in cloud and AI infrastructure.
which is okay. Whew. All right, we go to the call. We are gonna have to see what Jensen says here. Should be good. I'm confident. Confident. But the guidance is the thing that doesn't drop the stock to like the 160s, 150. Whew. That guidance was massive. NVIDIA expects 54 billion in revenue and investors want more. Insane. Now, this is what they say. Now, the question is, do I believe? What happened here? NVLink Compute. That's great. $7 billion worth of cake. So nuts, dude. Oh, gaming is coming back up. Hey. Hey. I want to buy a NVIDIA graphics card. All right, all right. 5 minutes. All about it. How was the yeah. First quarter? Why are they not giving me that? That's so odd. They give you that whenever they do the call? So odd. What a day, what a day, what a day. 3% of $4 trillion is what, 120 billion?
Mexico set to raise tariffs on imports from China.
You see, Google is investing an additional $9 billion in Virginia through 2026 in cloud and
Mexico
AI
tariffs on Chinese goods
infrastructure.
are to be included in the budget plan.
I'm gonna buy Google. I think Google's a buy right now. I'll buy more Google. Yeah, look at Google. You want to see something cool? He just kissed the ring with Trump. $9 billion investment in 2026. Bam. Flat. Bam. I'm telling you. Google? 250. We're going to 250. Whoa. Should have bought more. I'm telling you, we're going to see different. Tomorrow, this is what we see. I'm calling it out today. We're going to see NVIDIA sell off a little bit because the news is going to be like, oh, whatever. I'm going to be buying opportunity. The money's going to go to the other big players. And it's going to be, tomorrow we're going to see, so we're going to see, what are we going to see? We're going to see Google Meta up, Microsoft up, Amazon up. This one's up. This up, this up, this up. And industrials. And we have PCE coming up tomorrow too. No, Friday. So what do we have tomorrow? We have GDP tomorrow. So ugly. Where could we, like, I was thinking like at range around here is where we could, but I could be wrong. They didn't give dividend. They didn't raise the dividend. Whoop, 45, 45. NVIDIA's call. Hey. Let's go. 15 minutes away. Like the question is it whiskey time? I'm happy. They're good results. I'm gonna drink Coke. Oh no. It's pretty incredible though, the fact that they say that earnings, like at the earnings guidance is not good at 55. Like expectations were just so high. I mean, by the way, any questions you have about any company or any other stuff while we're waiting, I'm more than happy to answer. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you like the content, let me know it. Oh man. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. That's okay. Not as bad.
The Mexican tariff hikes are expected for imports from China, including cars, textiles, and plastic.
That's interesting. So he's making the rest of the world join towards the fight towards. And also the tariffs continue. I mean, everybody kissing. Do you think Merrick will go to 15? No, not yet. Oh man, I was looking at, so this was something actually that was very interesting. It's like this is something I need to do a little bit more research on, but it's like understanding how much they're selling the rental space for them. Holy smokes, Drago! Sometimes you keep up with more, with more stuff than I. Probably not. You know what I mean? The fact that they're extending, it's more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, they're asking for more time. It just extends it. It just continues. Ask your friend tomorrow. You know what I mean? And let me know what he says too, because I have a position on UNH. I'll ask Dimitris tomorrow. I don't think he's coming on the channel. But he pays attention to UNH. Let me have a look. Yeah, I haven't kept up with UNH. It's like today's being just. Tesla stock could fall 90% tomorrow. Yeah, okay, short it, bro. Short it. Short it. Go, come on. Short it. What? No, this is rumor, but excuse you? Okay, yeah, that was the one that was here. Bloomberg. So they're gonna continue looking. This could hurt the stock a little bit more. So you see, they're looking. They're looking, but it's not a good look, right? Because it's like the problem with United Health is like if there's smoke, that means there's a fire somewhere, right? That's why they're looking. There was some sort of move, but again, this could be just more like I know sometimes the market tries to like figure out exactly what the perfect move is on something, but it would be interesting to see what happens here. Something's happened with the stock. Something is way down. Huh. It's gonna be here. Like I'm surprised. That was a pretty big move. That was a that would have been a nice trade. Right there. Bam. Here would have been like a NVDL. That was a 9% move right there. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. So then you're good. You know what I mean? Like there is room. Like this is gonna like because of this like because of the size of this behemoth, right? Like it's just and because of the business model that they're in, it's gonna take forever. Like it's not like an NVIDIA where you can move like 5, 10, 20% in a day, right? Like the fact that you're up already is just it's safety. You know what I mean? So as long as the stock continues to do well and Buffett, like but like the fact that Buffett went in, it's like they're looking he does his homework, right? So yeah, I'm not too worried. The $60 billion buyback too is strong. There were a lot of good things this earnings report. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Dimitris likes the stock. Like I think it used to be one of his biggest positions, if I'm not. Portfolio, it's his second biggest position after NVIDIA. That's so crazy. Because the NVIDIA position he had was started at 2.82% and it's now sitting at almost 9%, 8.5%. So it has grown to the size. Such great return. But then UNH was his biggest position. Like it's the one that he's invested the most. I think he's re-up on it. He believes in the stock. He likes it. You know what I mean? Like it's a solid company. It's part of the Dow. Crying out loud. You know what I mean? Like again, it was just like I just think it was like negative momentum and negative momentum and negative momentum, negative momentum and negative momentum. So again, there was opportunities to get in. I'm up too. I think my average on you. Not bad. I mean, like it's a position. It's a company. Diversifies. It does well when the market goes down. So, and it was cheap too. Very very cheap. Very very cheap. Very very. As long as they are able to pick it up.
Percent of revenue by the US made for litigation. Any request for a percent of revenue again may be subject to litigation.
What? Did he say?
So NVIDIA said the US government has not published a regulation codifying 15%.
What? Jensen's gonna fight him? No. No. What? Jensen's gonna fight him on the 15%? You imagine? Yeah, we should be live. Hold on tight. Hold on tight, Asne. Freaking interest. Oh man. It's gonna be so interesting. Now was the play today. Like that's the thing, because everybody's paying attention to NVIDIA. Nobody's paying attention to the other stuff around. Tomorrow, calls on CrowdStrike, Bounce Trade, and I'm thinking purchase calls on NVIDIA. Any request for a percentage of revenue NVIDIA. Any request for a percentage of revenue may subject US may subject us or the US. I don't know. I don't know. It says like US, but it's not capitalized. I'm not. The litigation. Of course, right? Like, why would a government be able to just like revenue share? But again, you're able to sell China. Take that into consideration. You're greedy now. Maybe he found out he can't actually sell at the high prices because they were looking to increase the prices too. So see, price is gonna start coming up. Like as the call happens and China starts getting explained. It's a buying opportunity right here. I have a feeling. I have a feeling it's a buying opportunity. Like when you get the data, there is like a sense of yeah. The thing is like they have a double whammy, right? Like they're a software company and like software is becoming cheaper to produce. And then the second one
NVIDIA
is
says USG officials expressed expectation that the USG 15% of revenue generated from licensed H20 sales. That's according to an SEC filing.
they don't like it. NVIDIA does not like it. Because it's revenue too, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's just, you're eating into the margins fully. Okay, we're live. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah, and I will be your operator. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone
Yo,
to
can
the
you hear okay?
quarter 2026 results conference call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background. After this question, if you would like to ask a question during this time, press star followed by the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Would like to withdraw your question, press star 1 again. Yahari, may begin your conference.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to NVIDIA's conference call for the second quarter of fiscal 2026. With me today from NVIDIA are Jensen Huang, President and Chief Executive Officer, and Colette Kress, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. I'd like to remind you that our call is being webcast live. The webcast will be available for replay until the conference call to discuss our financial results for the third quarter of fiscal 2020. The content of today's call is NVIDIA's property. It can't be reproduced or transcribed without our prior written.
100%.
During this call, we may make forward-looking statements based on current expectations. These are subject to a number of significant risks and uncertainties, and our actual results may differ materially. For a discussion of factors that could affect our future financial results, Please refer to the disclosure in today's earnings most recent reports that we may file on 8K, Securities and Exchange. All our statements are made as of today, August 27th, 25, based on information currently available to us. Except as required by law, no obligation. During this call, we will discuss non-GAAP financial and find a reconciliation of these non-GAAP financial in our CFO comment, which is posted on our website. With that, let me turn the call over to Colette.
We delivered another continues to external total revenue 36 exceeded our outlook. Market platform data center revenue grew 50. Data center revenue also grew the revenue. NVIDIA's Blackwell platform reached record levels, growing sequentially 7. We began production shipments 300. Our full staff cloud service providers, Cloud enterprises all contribute to our growth. We are at the beginning of an industrial that will $3 to $4 trillion by infrastructure. At the end,
We're back.
the scale and scope build out and significant long. The GB200 NVIDIA seen widespread adoption, deployments at CSP, consumer internet, lighthouse model builders,
Market
AI,
data connection
Meta,
lost.
at data center scale,
Market
training,
data connection
next generation
re-established.
model, serving in the new Ultra platform also has generating tens of the transition to has been seen service provider due to its footprint, enabling them to build and deploy. The
Not bad.
transition to the new GB rack-based architecture has been seamless. Factory builds, 8 started support the GB. Today, full production. Current run rate back at full, producing approximately 1,000 racks. This output is expected to accelerate even further throughout the third quarter as additional. We expect widespread market availability as CoreWeave prepares to bring their GB, as they are already seeing performance model compared to the previous Hopper generation. L7 factor and token per watt energy translates revenue. Chips of the Rubin platform are in Vera 2, Rubin, X9, NIC, NVLink, Switch, X, L out, and the silicon. Rubin remains volume production. Rubin will be our third generation rack scale AI super with a mature and full scale. This keeps us on track with annual product cadence, continuous innovation, networking system. In late July, U.S. government sales of while a select number of our received, we have not shipped based on the USG officials expressed expectation will receive 15% the revenue generated state USG regulation modifying. We have not included our Q continue to work through. If geopolitical issues, we should ship 5 billion. And if we had more orders, still more. Continue to advocate
That's good news.
U.S. government.
Talk
to
like that.
approve Our products are designed, sold, beneficial. Every license benefit the economy, leadership in highly competitive markets. Redevelop America's AI technology stack can be the world's gift. Notably in the quarter, an increase for one. We also sold approximately 650 million of Q2 unrestricted. The sequential increase per demand indicates the breadth of data center
That might be a little
that
bit
run on
louder.
accelerated compute and the power of full stack continuously performance and economic. As we continue to deliver both Cooper and Blackwell are focusing global. This growth is fueled by capital expenditures. You're on track. 600 in data center and compute this nearly doubling. We expect annual
Market data
AI
connection
infrastructure
lost.
investment driven by the reasoning agent
Market
AI.
data.
Orders of magnitude more training and inference compute. Global build-outs for sovereign AI.
Wait a second.
New standard for AI inference. The market for AI inference is expanding rapidly with reasoning and agentic AI gaining traction. Blackwell's rack scale NVLink CUDA full stack addresses that by redefining the economics of inference. New NV FP4 4-bit precision NVLink 72 on the GB300 platform delivers a 50x increase in energy efficiency per token compared to Hopper, enabling companies to monetize their compute at unprecedented scale. For instance, a 3 million investment in GB200 infrastructure generate 30 million in token revenue, a 10x return. NVIDIA's software innovation, combined with the strength of our developer ecosystem, has already improved Blackwell's performance by more than 2x since its launch. Advances in CUDA, TensorRT LLM, and Dynamo are unlocking maximum efficiency. CUDA library contributions from the open source community, along with NVIDIA's open libraries and frameworks, are now integrated into millions of workflows. This powerful flywheel, collaborative innovation between NVIDIA and global community contribution strengthens NVIDIA's performance leadership. NVIDIA is a top contributor to OpenAI models, data, and software. Blackwell has introduced a groundbreaking numerical approach to large language model retraining using NV FP4 computations on the GB300 to now achieve 7x faster training than the H100, which uses FP. This innovation delivers the accuracy of 16-bit precision with the speed and efficiency of 4-bit, setting a new standard for AI factor efficiency and scalability. The AI industry is quickly adopting this revolutionary technology, with major players, AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and OpenAI, as well as Cohere, Mistral, Kimi AI, Perplexity, Reflection, and Runway, already embracing it. NVIDIA's performance leadership was further validated in the latest MLPerf training benchmark, where the GB200 delivered a clean sweep. Be on the lookout for the upcoming MLPerf inference results in September, which will include benchmarks based on the Blackwell. NVIDIA RTX Pro servers are in full production for the world's makers. These are air-cooled, PCIe-based systems integrated seamlessly into standard IT environments and run traditional enterprise IT applications, as well as the most advanced agentic and physical. Nearly 90 companies, including many global leaders, already adopting RTX Pro servers. Hitachi uses them for real-time simulation and digital twins, Lilly for drug discovery, Hyundai for factory design and AV validation, and Disney for immersive storytelling. As enterprises modernize data centers, RTX Pro servers are poised to become a multi-billion. Sovereign AI is one on the rise as the nation's ability to develop its own AI using domestic infrastructure, data, and talent presents a significant opportunity for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is at the forefront of landmark initiatives across the UK and Europe. The European Union plans to invest 20 billion euros to establish 20 AI factories across France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, including 5 gigafactories, to increase its AI compute infrastructure. In the UK, the Umbard AI supercomputer powered by NVIDIA was unveiled at the country's most powerful AI system, delivering 21 exaflop AI performance to accelerate breakthroughs in fields of drug discovery and climate modeling. We are on track to achieve over 20 billion in sovereign AI revenue this year, more than double last year. Networking delivered record revenue of 7.3 billion, and escalating demands of AI compute clusters necessitate high efficiency and low latency. This represents a 46% sequential and 98% year-on-year increase. Strong demand from Ethernet, InfiniBand, and NVLink. Our Spectrum X enhanced Ethernet solutions provide the highest throughput and lowest latency network for Ethernet AI workloads. Spectrum X Ethernet delivered double-digit sequential and year-over-year, with annualized revenue exceeding 10 billion. At Hot Chips, we introduced Spectrum XGS Ethernet, a technology designed to unify disparate data centers into gigascale AI superfactories. CoreWeave is an initial adopter of the solution, which is projected.
Navarro
to
believes
double
it is a slam
GPU
dunk
to
case against
GPU
Fed Cook.
communication speed.
White House trade advisor Peter
InfiniBand
Navarro
revenue
speaks on.
nearly doubled sequentially, fueled by the adoption of XDR technology, which provides
Voice news
double the bandwidth
disconnected.
improvement over its predecessor, especially valuable for the model builders. The world's fastest switch, NVLink, with 14x the bandwidth of PCIe Gen 5, delivered strong growth as customers deployed Grace Blackwell NVLink rack scale system. The positive reception to NVLink Fusion, which allows semi-custom AI infrastructure, has been widespread. Japan's upcoming Fugaku Next will integrate Fujitsu's CPUs with our architecture via NVLink Fusion. It will run a range of workloads, including AI, supercomputing, and quantum. Fugaku Next joins a rapidly expanding list of leading quantum supercomputing and research centers running on NVIDIA's Q2 quantum platform including ULIC, AIST, NNF, and NERSC, supported by over 300 ecosystem partners, including AWS, Google Quantum AI, Quantinium, QEra, and PsiQuantum. Jetson Thor, our new robotics computing platform, is now available. Thor delivers an order of magnitude greater AI performance and energy efficiency than NVIDIA AGX Orin. It runs the latest generative and reasoning AI models at the edge in real time, enabling state-of-the-art robotics. Adoption of NVIDIA's robotic full-stack platform is growing at rapid rate. Over 2 million developers and 1,000 plus hardware, software, sensor partners taking our platform. Leading enterprises across industries have adopted Thor, including Agility Robotics, Amazon Robotics, Boston Dynamics, Caterpillar, Figure, Hexagon, Medtronic, and Meta. Robotic applications require exponentially more compute on the device and in infrastructure, representing a significant long-term demand driver for our data center platform. NVIDIA Omniverse Cosmos is our data center physical AI digital twin built for development of robot and robotic systems. This quarter, we announced a major expansion of our partnership with Siemens to enable AI automatic factories, leading European robotics companies, including Agile Robots, Neuro Robotics, and Universal Robots, are building their latest innovations with the Omniverse. Transitioning to a quick summary of our revenue by geography. China declined on a sequential basis to low single digits percentage of data center revenue. Note, our Q3 outlook does not include H20 shipments to China customers. Singapore revenue represented 22% of second quarter's billed revenue as customers have centralized their invoicing, and over 99% of data center compute revenue billed to Singapore was for US-based. Our gaming revenue was a record $4.3 billion, a 14% sequential increase and a 49% jump year on year. This was driven by the ramp of Blackwell GeForce GPUs as strong sales continued as we increased supply. This quarter, we shipped GeForce RTX 5060 desktop GPU. It brings double the performance along with advanced ray tracing, neural rendering, and AI-powered DLSS gameplay to millions of gamers worldwide. Blackwell is coming to GeForce Now in September. This is GeForce Now's most significant upgrade, offering RTX 5080 class performance, minimal latency, and 5K resolution at 120 frames per second. We are also doubling the catalog, over 4,500 titles, the largest library of any cloud. For AI enthusiasts, on-device AI performs the best RTX GPU. We partnered with OpenAI to optimize their open source GPT models, high quality, fast, and efficient inference on millions of RTX-enabled Windows devices. With the RTX platform stack, Windows developers can create AI applications designed to run on the world's largest AI PC user base. Professional visualization revenue reached $101 million, a 32% year-on-year increase. Growth was driven by adoption
What do you mean
of
tanking? What do you mean?
GPUs and AI-powered workload like design, simulation.
NVIDIA's down
Customers
what?
are leveraging our solutions to accelerate their operations. Activision Blizzard uses RTX workstations to enhance creative workflow, while robotics innovator Figure AI powers its humanoid robots with RTX embedded GPUs. Automotive revenue, which includes only in compute revenue, was $586, up 69% year on year, primarily driven by self-driving. We have begun shipments of NVIDIA Thor SoC, SR2. Thor's arrival coincides with industry accelerating shift to vision, language, model architecture, generative AI, and and higher levels.
Question is why are you not shipping
Thor is
to
the
China?
most successful robotics
right?
and AV computer we've ever created. Thor Willpower. Our full stack drive AV software platform is now in production, opening up billions in new revenue opportunities for NVIDIA while improving vehicle safety and autonomy. Now moving to the rest of our P&L. GAAP gross margin was 72.4% and non-GAAP gross margin 72.7%. These figures include a $180 million or 40 basis point benefit from releasing previously reserved H20 inventory. Excluding this benefit, non-GAAP gross margins would have been 73%, still exceeding our. GAAP operating expenses rose 8% and 6% on a non-GAAP basis sequentially. This increase was driven by higher compute and infrastructure, as well as higher compensation and benefits. To support the ramp of Blackwell and Blackwell Ultra, inventory increased sequentially from $11 billion to $15 billion. While we prioritize funding our growth and strategic initiatives, in Q2, we returned $10 billion to share through share repurchases and cost. Our board of directors recently approved a $60 billion share repurchase add to our remaining $14.7 billion authorization at the end. Okay, let me turn it to the outlook for the third quarter. Total revenue is expected to be $54 billion, or minus 2%. This represents over $7 billion in sequential. Again, we do not assume any H20 shipments to China customers in our outlook. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are expected to be 73.3%, 73.5%, respectively, plus or minus 50 basis points. We continue to expect to exit the year with non-GAAP gross margin in the mid-70s. GAAP and non-GAAP operating expenses are expected to be approximately $5.9 billion and $4.2 billion, respectively. For the full year, we expect operating expenses to grow in the high 30s range year over year, up from our prior expectations of the mid-30s. We are accelerating investments in the business to address the magnitude of growth opportunities that lie ahead. GAAP and non-GAAP other income and expenses are expected to be an income approximately, excluding gains and losses from non-marketable and public equities. GAAP and non-GAAP tax rates are expected to be 16 plus or minus 1%, excluding any discrete items. Further financial data are included in the CFO commentary and other information available. In closing, let me highlight upcoming events for the financial. We will be at the Goldman Sachs Technology Conference. Our annual NDR will commence first part of October. GTC Data Center begins on October 27th with Jensen's keynote scheduled. We look forward to seeing you at these events. Our earnings call to discuss the results of our third quarter of fiscal 2026 is scheduled for November 19th. We will now open the call for operator. Would you please poll?
Thank you. At this time, I would like to remind everyone
You're about to get grilled.
to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll pause for just a moment to compile the Q&A roster. As a reminder, please limit yourself to one question. Thank you. Your first question comes from CJ Muse with Cantor Fitzgerald. Your line is open.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the question. I guess with wafer in to rack out lead times of 12 months, you confirmed on the call today that Rubin is on track for ramp in the second half. And obviously, many of these investments are multi-year projects contingent upon power, cooling, et cetera. I was hoping perhaps you take a high-level view and speak to your vision for growth into 2026. And as part of that, if you can kind of comment between networking data center would be very helpful. Thank you.
Thanks, CJ. At the highest level would be evolution, the introduction, if you will, of reasoning agentic AI. Where chatbots used to be one shot, give it a prompt and generate answer. Now the AI does research, it thinks, does a plan, and it might use tools. And so it's called long thinking. The longer it thinks, oftentimes and the amount of computation necessary for one shot versus reasoning agentic AI models could be 100 times, 1,000 times, and potentially even more as the amount of research, basically reading comprehension that goes off to do. So the amount of computation that has resulted in agentic AI. And of course, the effectiveness has also grown tremendously. Because of agentic AI, the amount of hallucination has dropped significantly. It can now use tools and perform. Enterprises have been opened up. As a result of agentic AI and vision language models, we now are seeing a breakthrough in physical AI, in robotics, autonomous systems. So the last year, AI has made tremendous progress. And agentic system, reasoning system, is completely revolutionary. And we built the Blackwell NVLink 72 system, a rack scale computing system for this moment. We've been working on it for several years. This last year, we transitioned from NVLink 8, the node scale computing, each node is a computer, to now NVLink 72, where each rack is a that disaggregation of NVLink 72 into a rack scale system was extremely hard to do, but the results are extraordinary. We're seeing orders of magnitude speed up and therefore energy efficiency and therefore cost effectiveness token generation because of NVLink 70. And so over the next couple of years, you're going to you asked about longer term. Over the next 5 years, we're going to scale into with Blackwell, with Rubin, follow-ons, to scale into effectively a $3 to $4 trillion AI infrastructure opportunity. Last couple of years, you have seen that CapEx has grown in just the top 4 CSPs has doubled and grown to about 600. So we're in the beginning of this build out, and the AI technology advances has really enabled AI to be able to adopt and solve problems to many different.
Your next question comes from Vivek Arya with Bank of America Securities. Your line is open.
Thanks for taking my questions. Colette, just wanted to clarify the 2 to 5 billion in China. What needs to happen? What is the sustainable pace of that China business as we get into 4? And then Jensen, for you on the competitive landscape, several of your large customers already have or are planning many ASIC projects. I think one of your ASIC competitors, Broadcom, signaled that they could grow their AI business almost 55-60% next year. Any scenario in which you see the market moving more towards ASICs and away from NVIDIA GPU? Just what are you hearing from your customers? How are they managing this split between their use of merchant silicon and ASIC?
Thanks, Vivek. So let me first answer your question. What will it take the H to be shipped? There is interest in our H. Is initial. And then additionally, we are ready. And that's why we communicated somewhere in the range of 5. We could potentially. We're still waiting on geopolitical issues. And the companies trying to determine their purchase. So it's still open at the time, and we're not exactly. However, if more interest arrives, more licenses, build additional.
NVIDIA builds very different things than ASICs. Let's talk about ASICs first. A lot of projects are started. Many startup companies are created. Very few products go into production. And the reason for that is it's really hard. Accelerated computing is unlike general purpose computing. You don't write software and just compile it into a processor. Accelerated computing is a full stack co-design process. And AI factories in the last several years has become so much more complex because of the scale of the problems have grown so significantly. It's really the ultimate, the most extreme computer science problem the world's seen, obviously. And so the stack is complicated. The models are changing incredibly fast from generative based on autoregressive to generative based on diffusion to mixed models to multimodality. The number of different models that are coming out that are either derivatives of transform or evolutions of transform is just daunting. One of the advantages that we have is that NVIDIA is available in every cloud. We're available from every computer company. We're available from the cloud to on-prem to edge to robotics on the same programming model. And so it's sensible that every framework in the world supports NVIDIA. When you're building a new model architecture, releasing it on NVIDIA is most sensible. And so the diversity of our platform, both in the ability to evolve into any architecture, the fact that we're everywhere, and also we accelerate the entire pipeline. You know, everything from data processing, pre-training, to post-training with reinforcement learning, all the way out to inference. And so when you build a data center with NVIDIA platform in it, the utility of it is best. The lifetime usefulness is much, much longer. Then I would just say that in addition to all of that, it is just a really extremely complex systems problem. When people talk about the chip itself, there's one ASIC, the GPU that many people talk about. But in order to build Blackwell platform, Rubin the platform, we had to build CPUs that connect fast memory, low.
Apparently,
extremely
NVIDIA is going to start
energy
producing
efficient memory,
CPUs.
large KV caching necessary to the GPU, to a super NIC, to a scale up switch we call NVLink, completely revolutionary, 5th generation now, to a scale out switch, quantum, Spectrum X Ethernet, to now scale across switch so that we could prepare for these AI superfactories, multiple gigawatts of computing all connected together. That Spectrum XGS, which is owns that. So the complications, complexity of everything that we do.
No, earnings
is
today.
really quite extraordinary. One of the really, really. And then lastly,
market data
if I could just say
connection
one more
lost.
thing. You know, we're in every cloud for a good reason. Not only do
Market
are we
data
the most
connection
energy
reestablished.
efficient per watt is the best of any computing platform.
Oh.
And in a world of power limited data centers, perf per watt drives directly to revenues. Heard me say before that in a lot of ways, the more you buy. And because our perf per dollar, the performance per dollar is
Market
so
data
incredible,
connection lost.
you also have extremely great margins. The growth opportunity with this
Market
architecture
data connection
and the gross
reestablished.
margins opportunity is absolutely the best. A lot of reasons why NVIDIA is chosen by every cloud and every startup and every computer company. Holistic, full stack solution.
Your next question comes from Ben Reitzes with Melius. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks a lot. Jensen, I wanted to ask you about your $3 billion in data center infrastructure spend by the end of the decade. Previously, you talked about something in the 1 billion range, which I think was just for compute by 2028. If you take past comments, 3 to 4 trillion would imply maybe 2 billion plus in compute spend, and just wanted to know if that was right, and that's what you're seeing by the end of the decade. Wondering what you think your share will be of that. Your share right now of structure, compute-wise, is very high. So wanted to see, and also if there's any bottlenecks like power to get to this. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. As you know, the CapEx of just top 4 hyperscalers has doubled in 2 years. As the AI revolution went into full steam, as the AI race is now on, the CapEx spend has doubled to $600 billion 5 years between now and the end of the decade. And $600 billion only represents top 4 hyperscalers. We still have the rest of the enterprise companies building on-prem. You have cloud service providers building around. The United States represents about 60% of the world compute. And over time, you would think that artificial intelligence would reflect, and would be our contribution to that is a large part of the AI infrastructure. Out of a gigawatt AI factory, which can go anywhere from 50 to plus or minus 10%. We represent about 35 plus or minus 35 out of 50.
Market data connection lost.
Gigawatt data center. And of course, what you get for that is not
market data
GPU.
connection reestablished.
We're famous for building the GPU, inventing the GPU. No, over the decade, we've really transitioned an AI infrastructure. It takes 6 chips just to build 6 different types of chips just to build an AI, a Rubin AI supercomputer. And just to scale that out, gigawatt, you have hundreds of GPU compute nodes and a whole bunch of racks. So we're really an AI infrastructure to contribute, doing this, making AI more useful, and then very importantly, driving the performance per watt. World, as you mentioned, limiters always likely be power limitation, AI infrastructure, AI building limitation. So we need to squeeze as much out of the factory as NVIDIA's performance per unit of energy used drives the revenue growth. Factory directly translates. 100 megawatt factory per 100 megawatt drives your revenue. Tokens per 100 megawatts. In our case, also, performance dollars spent is so high that your margins are. Anyhow, these are the limiters going 3 to 4 trillion.
Question comes from Joe Moore of Morgan Stanley. Your line is open.
Great. Thank you. Congratulations on reopening the China opportunity. Can you talk about the long-term prospects there? You've talked about half of the AI software world being there. How much can NVIDIA grow in that business, and how important is it that you get the Blackwell architecture?
The China market, I've estimated to be about $50 billion opportunity for us. If we were able to address it with competitive products, and if it's $50 billion this year, you would expect it to grow say 50% per year as the rest of the world it is growing as well. This is the second
Market
largest
data
computing
connection
market in the
lost.
world, and it is also the home of AI researchers.
Market data
About
connection
50% of the world's
reestablished.
AI research. The vast majority of the leading open source model created in China. And so it's fairly important the American technology companies to be able to address that market. And open source, as you know, created in one country, but it's used all over the world. The open source models that have come out of China are really excellent. DeepSeek, of course, global notoriety. Q1 is excellent. Kimi is excellent. There's a whole bunch of new multimodal, and it's really fueled the adoption of AI in enterprises around this one proprietary software stack. And so open source models really important. Who also would like systems has been really incredible around the world. And so open source is really important. Important that the American company is going to be a very large market. We're talking to the administration about the importance of American companies to be open these markets. And as you know, H20 has been approved. Companies that are many licensed. And so I think the opportunity for us to bring Blackwell to the China market is a real possibility. We just have to keep advocating the sensibility of the importance of American lead in the race, help make the American global standard.
Your next question, line of Aaron Rakers with Wells Fargo. Line is open.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I want to back to the Spectrum XGS announcement this week, and thinking about the Ethernet product now over 10 billion of annualized revenue. Just what is the opportunity set that you see for Spectrum XGS? Do we think about this as kind of the data center interconnect layer? Any thoughts on the sizing of this opportunity, within that Ethernet portfolio? Thank you.
We now offer three networking technologies. One is for scale up, one is scale out, and one for scale across. Scale up is so that we could build the largest possible virtual GPU, the virtual compute. NVLink is revolution. NVLink 72 is what made it possible for Blackwell to deliver such an extraordinary generational jump over Hopper's NVLink 8. At a time when we have long thinking models, agentic AI reasoning systems, the NVLink basically amplifies the memory bandwidth, which is really critical for reasoning systems. So NVLink 72 is fantastic. We then scale out with networking, which we have two. We have InfiniBand, which is unquestionably the lowest latency, the lowest jitter, the best scale out network. It does require more expertise in managing those. And for supercomputing, for the leading model makers, InfiniBand, quantum InfiniBand is the unambiguous choice. If you were to benchmark an AI factory, the ones with InfiniBand are the best performance. For those who would like to use Ethernet, because the whole data center is built with, we have a new type of Ethernet called Spectrum Ethernet. Spectrum Ethernet, not off the shelf, has a whole bunch of new technologies designed for low latency and low congestion control, and it has the ability to come closer, much closer to InfiniBand than anything that's out there. As we call that Spectrum X Ethernet. And then finally, we have Spectrum XGS, gigascale, for connecting multiple data centers, multiple AI factories into a super factory, gigantic system. And you're gonna see that networking obviously is very important in AI factories. In fact, choosing the right networking, the performance, the throughput improvement, going from 65% to 85% or 90%, that kind of step up because of your networking effectively makes networking free. Choosing the right networking, you're basically paying, you'll get a return on it like sleep, because the AI factory, gigawatt, as I mentioned before, could be $50 billion. And so the ability to improve the efficiency of that factory by tens of results in 10, $20 billion worth of effective. So, the networking is a very important part of it. It's the reason why NVIDIA dedicates so much in networking. The reason why we just Mellanox 5.5 and Spectrum X you mentioned earlier. Quite a only about Spectrum X is all three of them are going to be link, scale up, Spectrum out.
Your next question comes from Stacy Raskin with Bernstein Research. Your line is open.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my question. I have a more tactical question for Colette. So on the guide, we're up over $7 billion. The vast bulk of that is going to be data center. How do I think about apportioning that $7 billion out across Blackwell versus Hopper versus networking? I mean, it looks like Blackwell was probably $27 billion in the quarter, up from last quarter. Hopper's still $6 or $7 billion post the H20. Like, do you think the Hopper strength continues? Just how do I think about parsing that $7 billion out across?
Thanks, Stacey. First part of it, looking Q2, Blackwell is still keep in mind that both are compute side because we are selling Hopper. We are still again HCX. So we'll continue more specific.
Yeah, that one was difficult. He was asking about the NVLink, the 7 billion of networking. What accounts to what? Whether it's Blackwell or Hopper.
Your next question comes from Jim Schneider of Goldman Sachs. Your line is open.
Good afternoon. Thanks for taking my question. You've been very clear about the reasoning model opportunity that you see, and you've also been relatively clear about the technical specs for Rubin, but maybe you could provide a little bit of context about how you view the Rubin product transition going forward. What incremental capability does that offer to customers? And would you say that Rubin is a bigger, smaller, or similar step up in terms of performance for a capability perspective relative to what we saw with Blackwell? Thank you.
Thanks. Rubin, we're on an annual cycle. And the reason why we're on an annual cycle is because we can do so to accelerate the cost reduction and maximize the revenue generation for our customers. When we increase the perf per watt, the token generation per amount of usage of energy, we are effectively driving the revenues of our customers. The perf per watt of Blackwell will be, for reasoning system, an order of magnitude higher than Hopper. And so for the same amount of energy, and everybody's data center is energy limited by definition, for any data center, using Blackwell, you'll be able to maximize revenues compared to anything we've done in the past, compared to anything in the world. And because the perf per dollar, the performance is so good that the perf per dollar invested in the capital would also allow you to improve your gross margins. To the extent that we have great ideas for every single generation, we could improve the revenue generation, improve the AI capability, improve the margins of our customers by releasing new architecture. And so we advise our partners, our customers to pace themselves and to build these data on an annual rhythm. And Ruben is going to have a whole bunch of new ideas. I paused for a second because I've got plenty of time between now and a year from now to tell you about all the breakthroughs that Ruben's going to bring. But Ruben has a lot of great. I'm anxious to tell you, but I can't right now. I'll save it for
he deflected
BTC,
that massively
to tell you more and more about it. But nonetheless, the next year, we're ramping really hard into Grace Blackwell GB200, and then now Blackwell Ultra 300. We're ramping really hard into centers. This year is obviously a record-breaking year. I expect next year to be a record. And while we continue to increase the performance abilities as we race toward, on one hand, increase the revenue generation capabilities of hyperscale. On the other hand,
our final question comes from Timothy Arcuri with UBS. Your line is open.
Thanks a lot. Jensen, I wanted to ask you, just answer the question. You threw out a number. You said 50% CAGR for the AI market. So I'm wondering how much visibility that you have into next year. Is that kind of a reasonable bogey in terms of how much your data center revenue should grow next year? I would think you'll grow at least in line with that CAGR. And maybe are there any puts and takes to that? Thanks.
Well, I think that the best way to look at it is we have reasonable forecasts. We still have and a lot of startups that are still being created. Don't forget that the number of startups, AI native startups, was 100 billion was funded last year. This year, the year's not even over yet. 180 billion funded. If you look at AI native startups that are generating revenues, last year was $2 billion. This year is $20 billion. Next year, being 10 times higher than this year is not inconceivable. And the open source models is now opening up large enterprises, SaaS companies, industrial companies, robotics companies to now join the AI, another source of. And whether it's AI natives or enterprise SaaS or industrial AI or startups, we're just seeing enormous amount of interest in AI and demand for AI. Right now, the buzz is, if you know about the buzz out, the buzz is everything sold out. H100 is sold out. H200s are sold out. Large CSPs are coming out renting capacity from other CSPs. And so the AI native startups really scrambling to get capacity that they could train their reasoning model. So the demand is really, but the long-term outlook where we are today, CapEx has doubled in 2 years, now running about $600 billion. For us to grow into that $600 billion, representing a significant part of CapEx, isn't unreasonable. I think the next several years, decade, we see really fast, really significant. Let me conclude with this. Blackwell is the next generation AI platform the world's been waiting for. Delivers an exceptional generational leap. NVIDIA's NVLink 72 rack scale computing is arriving just in time as reasoning AI models drive order of magnitude increases in training and inference performance. Blackwell Ultra is ramping at full speed and the demand is extraordinary. Our next platform, Rubin, is already in fact 6 new chips that represents the Rubin platform. They've all taped out to TSMC. Rubin will be our 3rd generation NVLink rack scale AI supercomputer. And so we expect to have a much more mature and fully scaled up supply. A Blackwell and Rubin AI factory platforms will be scaling into the $3 to $4 trillion global AI factory build out through the end of the decade. Customers are building ever greater scale AI factories, from thousands of Hopper GPUs in tens of megawatt data centers to now hundreds of thousands of Blackwell in 100 megawatt facilities. And soon we'll be building millions of Rubin GPU platforms, powering multi-gigawatt, multi-site AI superfactories. With each generation, demand only grows. One-shot chatbots have evolved into reasoning agentic AI that research, plan, and use tools, driving orders of magnitude jump in compute for both training and inference. Agentic AI is reaching maturity and has opened the enterprise market to build domain and company-specific AI agents for enterprise workflows. The age of physical AI has arrived, unlocking entirely new industries: robotics, industrial automation. Every industrial company will need to build 2 factories, one to build the machines and another to build their robotic AI. This quarter, NVIDIA reached record revenues and an extraordinary milestone in our journey. The opportunity ahead is immense. A new industrial revolution has started. The AI race is on. Thanks for joining us to discussing you next week, next earnings call. Thank you.
All right. So let's summarize this for the people that couldn't watch and sit down for the couple of hours that we were on here. So I'm going to keep it nice and sweet for the NVIDIA earnings results. NVIDIA was down from the close of the day. So, okay, summary time. So, NVIDIA's earnings were good as expected. The stock was down right after earnings around 6%, which was what the market expected. We did see a bounce back, and right now the market is sitting around -3% on NVIDIA pricing. It was an interesting earnings result that we got. Earnings per share was a beat, revenue was a beat, and cloud missed a little bit. And this was why the stock, we believe, was actually way down initially. But we did get really good guidance expectations coming up, around $54 billion for the next quarter, and that does not account any China revenue. So the results were good. Stock's down because there's a lot of euphoria around it, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of opportunities we get tomorrow in the NVIDIA pricing. The guidance was fantastic. not much to say there other than if China comes back, we could potentially see $2 to $5 billion additional revenue in NVIDIA's next quarter, which would make the company produce around $60 billion, which would be fantastic news. But we have to see how the licensing and who gets those licenses, because they are still not shipping the H20 to China, which was something that was said. There's a massive ramp up right now. We're gonna see that growth, like that revenue growth, come in Q3. Hopefully there's no hiccups. China seems to be coming online. China wants NVIDIA chips. And something super interesting that Jensen said, because you stayed until the end here, was that he believes that if there were no China restrictions, we could see 2026 revenue to be 50 billion and 75 billion in the year ahead, if there were no restrictions on the chips. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to actually sell Blackwell, or what will the licensing deals be. What would the Trump administration allow to happen there? But we have to keep a close eye. The stock continues to be an outperformer. The story of NVIDIA continues. They continue to ramp up earnings and revenue. It's a fantastic growth story. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you want quick and easy content to follow. And don't forget to check out the portfolio down below. See if you like it. See if you have the same goals as I do. Because you can just copy my portfolio. That does not account for guaranteed returns. Do it at your own risk. Thanks so much for watching, and peace, guys. Yo, Dragas, thanks so much for staying till the end, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It was good. You know what I mean? Like, I expected the market to come down a little bit. You know, I expect the markets to come down a little bit. And like, I called it right. Even though it hurts, like I'm still down on the day, but it doesn't hurt as much because I delevered just before market close, which is great. But yeah, there was just too much euphoria coming into this earnings, right? Like a lot of retail was like just buying, and there's a lot of leverage. So I want to see what happens tomorrow. There's going to be some buying opportunities. I'm telling you, like some call options, like after the first 20, 30 minutes of the market, when we see that sort of like initial sell-off and people selling and digesting the news, there's going to be a buying opportunity here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, just because there's so much leverage in the system right now. I'm kind of paying attention to it. But yes, Dragas, everybody, thanks so much for watching, tuning in. Cheers, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. And hopefully tomorrow we continue making some profits. The NVIDIA story hasn't changed, so make sure you find your opportunities to get back in. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and peace.